Hello viewer and welcome to Pretty Ninja Racing. My name is Anders and I recorded this video with no sound. You can tell I do this quite often, can't you? I recorded this amazing 15-lap race with the Porchse Cup cars, the 3.8 litres in particular. Race purely because pre-update I thought these cars were absolutely god-awful. And I really couldn't get along with them. They just felt really weird. They didn't feel like Porchse Cup cars. They just were just not particularly great. But since the update, I've absolutely fallen in love with them. They're not easy to drive still. Maybe that's because I've got a skill issue. I don't know. But what I'm about to do is record the trackside view of the race, and I'll also have the internal view on screen throughout as well, hopefully paired up so you can see what's gone on. But the circuit that we raced at was Curitiba. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is a Brazilian club circuit. But yeah, I just feel these Porsche 3.8 litre cup cars could definitely be used a lot more online and produce some rather epic racing. But without further ado, let me show this 15-lap race of just pure fun. I highly recommend you guys give these cars a go. Right, so I've just hidden the controls. The mouse is hidden. There is our leaderboard. We can see that I start off in P25. I am indeed the white and green automobile, and we got off to a pretty decent start here. The Porchse Cup Class, obviously these are all identical. Cars popping in and out on the replay. It's always good to see, but you know, the typical AI dive bomb down the inside on lap 1 always goes down pretty well. Again, we kind of seem to be losing a couple of cars there, but I'm not quite sure why. But on the power we go. I'll tell you what, why don't we pick not just trackside, we'll go all. We'll just let it skim through as many as we possibly can. But yeah, these cars aren't the easiest to drive. I had to do a lot of fighting. I'm also kind of glad I didn't record my previous video because I was swearing quite a lot and I was going to have to cover that over quite a fair bit. But lap 1, I tried to go round the outside of this green Porchse Cup ahead of me just to purely drive on the rubble, and it just did not end well. And these sequence of corners, this left and right here, was also very tricky to get right. The front end kind of wants to bite, but it also really doesn't. Which, you know, standard. But yeah, I wouldn't say that these cup cars are anywhere near as good as like AC. Those mods are just quite wonderful. But overall, they are a hell of a lot better, and I think they could be used quite well, especially on a website maybe like LFM. But I would love to do a league in these at PrettyNinjaRacing.com once we've got our new server up and running. But the race is underway. You can see that we're on lap 2. And the AI, in a minute, I'm just trying to find my feet. I did a 15-minute practice session before this, and it wasn't the best. I had a couple of spin-offs, couldn't quite get the car dialed in the way that I wanted it to. You can see that I'm trying to just tempt the car into the cornering. But when it grips up, it grips up. It's quite nice. You can kind of, because there's no traction control in these cars. There is ABS, however, but there's no traction control, so you can really get on the power quite early and really kind of power through the corners when possible. But if you do so too early, you will lose the rear end quite quickly. So we can see here that we're up to P17. Mayer ahead of us in P16, currently battling Tesmere. So we head down the main straight into T1, and this is where I kind of found quite early on that I could quite easily outbrake these AI into T1. You see they're braking around about the 150, 160 mark. I'm just a little bit later, and the AI just closing the door on me there. No harm done there. At the time I thought, flipping AI, they're crashing into me again, but at the end of the day, that was a bit of a lunch. looking at it again. Sector 2 was probably my weakest spot, particularly into the braking zone here. I kind of wanted to turn in and brake. I'm not very good at trail braking myself personally. We can see Mayo in the background just struggling to get the power down in these early stages. The tyres were warm to begin with, which is quite nice. Got a couple of inside view car images here, which will go along with the VR footage that I'll have some posted somewhere, maybe underneath the leaderboard. Might do that in the edit. Just whack it under the leaderboard. But around the last corner, and it's so easy to get this wrong. The inside curb, if you get the front right on it, just the rear end of the car just comes around. It's a lot flatter. It's a little bit like the apron of a oval circuit. If you kind of misbalance the car on the bank curves, you're not going to have a good time. And I'm looking down the inside there, going into T1. We're on lap 4 of 15, and these are a car that you can, your confidence grows in them. You start off being a little bit scared of them. You kind of don't want to put the power down. You don't want to brake too hard because it doesn't feel like they're stopping. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't want to brake too soft because it just feels like the car isn't going to stop. But it does. You give it the opportunity and it will stop. You can see that it's just a clear day, quite dry. Oh, dry. Sorry, not quite dry. It is dry. Quite a warm day here in Brazil. And it's such a good circuit. Very nice in Formula Inters or Formula F3s. F3, sorry, is really quite nice. I do recommend people giving this circuit a go. There is just an outer loop version of this circuit, which is quite good for kind of almost like a Indy kart or Indy kind of NASCAR or something classics. It's quite good for. But we're doing the actual, well, I think it's a club circuit. I mean, if it's not, it should be. I'm very surprised, you know, a lot of us haven't heard of it before, maybe. But also, I would like to take this opportunity to find out some other combos that the community quite like driving. I'm going to move my mouse to my name there. There we go, P16. Because I would love to try some other combos now. The release. I've done 2 24-hour races now. One at Le Mans and one at Sebring in the GT4, and the Le Mans in the GT3. Both with community members, so with humans as well. So this is something else that I would love to do a video on. I've got one 24-hour race recorded. That looks quite nice there. Getting a good, closing the gap down to Tesmere ahead. Just not quite getting the exit maybe. Oh no, I've got a quite good exit here actually by the looks of it. You can see the slip doesn't really exist in these cars. It is all about the braking. It is all about putting pressure on the driver ahead, but we get the move done rather easily there into T1. And we move ourselves up into P15. My target was top 10. I did not think in practice I was going to get anywhere near it. But these cars do feel a hell of a lot better. They do get quite light when they're turning around using the rear end. But when you do get it right, it is quite a nimble little machine. But you just got to make sure you scrub that speed off, because slow corners like that, it does seem to want to take forever to get round and get done. You can see that I'm quite far behind Lati. We've got a good gap on Mayer here. As we're already halfway through the race. That's how quick this is. 1:20.7 is my best lap so far, which is the race pace. So we should be able to catch up to the cars in front quite quickly. The pace of these AI were suited me quite well to the ground. They're on 105 medium medium aggression, and they suit my kind of skill level quite nicely, which is, you know, mediocre. There are a lot better sim racers and drivers than me out there, but I don't care. I like to have fun. Have fun. Have a good old scrap. And we're getting some good time here in sector 2. Dropping from 5th to 4th. Gently caressing that curve on the right hand side there of that left right in sector 2. Sector 2 is basically the left right and that final corner. So sector 2, sector 3, sorry. Now, am I going to make a move here? I'm looking. Am I close enough? I'm definitely going later on the brake, and I get the move done way before we get into the corner. So the AI are a little bit tentative in T1, which suits me just fine, because I'm tentative everywhere else. We're lap 8, setting a 1:20.557, currently the fastest car on track. Just. But only by, well, what we're talking about 1,000th of a second here, not even that. 5,000ths of a second. Through the left right, I really did struggle to get this. The left wasn't so bad, it was the right. Here, sometimes I'd either clip too much or not get anywhere near the apex. And I started to keep it in a high gear in the end for the final corner. I was shifting down to 3rd towards the beginning and in practice. But 4th just made it feel just a little bit stabler. So we cross over the line to start lap 9. I did tweak the car a little bit. I did make the rear and the front anti-roll bar just a little bit softer to try and get it to grip up a little bit more, because it was too slidey on a stiff anti-roll bar. Trim down the wing a little bit. You can see I kind of started to realise that actually I am a lot better on the brakes than most of the AI. Some of the, well, especially the slower corners, it was the faster corners that they could just carry just that extra couple of kilometers an hour. So we go on board when you've got the VR view anyway, but still, it's a little bit more interesting than just trackside constantly. Now hopefully we will go trackside for this one. Maybe not. We are about to go 3 abreast into T1 as the black car of Baldi looks to get round Chorley, and I kind of bumped Chorley ahead and put myself into P13, pushing Baldi back just a little bit. But there was a little bit of, well, I say a little bit, there was quite a bit of contact between me and Chorley FM up in front. And this video is not sponsored by Chorley FM. But if it was, only a few people are going to be getting that reference. Anyway, through sector 2 we go, and we can see that Baldi is clearly not happy with myself and is currently on the attack, or trying to get onto the attack. But luckily, like I mentioned the lap before, I can just get on those brakes a little bit more. Well, a little bit better into the slower corners, and we're We're in lap 10, 5 laps left to go. Again, P10 is my aim. Around the last corner we head. Try and make a move on Chorley to go and attack Baptista ahead of them, although they're 3 abreast ahead. The battle for P9. Move out late. Get down the inside. And that move is completed, and we're now up to P12. It's been a while since I've just commentated. Oh, and we can see Baptista just locks up and goes straight off, so we get a free position up into P11. God, I've got to warm up the vocal cords next time I do a video like this. It's been a while. It's been a while. So we have 4 laps to try and gain 1 more position. The gap is just over a second between the 2 of us, but I'm hoping I can close that up into T1. We can see the cars ahead are also battling it out for what looks to be, what would that be? That would be P6, is it? As we head down the main straight, bumpy main straight. See that they're all getting on their brakes quite early, and I'm hoping to gain a lot of time in the braking. So it is, no, it's the same as online as well. If you're racing online, it's not necessarily a case of, you know, you being faster everywhere than the car in front, because clearly I'm not faster everywhere than the car in front. But it's just understanding where you're faster than the car ahead and capitalizing on that. To the best of your abilities, and that can take a bit of time and a bit of patience, which most races online you probably don't get, because you're either going to get a little bit tapped about a bit maybe, or the races are a bit too short for you to analyse and assess. You've got to kind of do it within 3 corners, but you don't know how they're going to be in the next one, so it's quite a tricky one. And here I think I take maybe, yeah, a little bit too much grass. And I'm lucky to hold on to that. If you looked at the driver cam for that right-hander there, it was not a fun time. Lots of bad words came out of my mouth. As we cross the line to start lap 13, you can see all the gaggle of cars. They're all battling away, which is great, really. It's nice to see that rather than just a train everywhere. And the time that we lost in sector 2/3 last lap, we've now kind of regained. So Loverick is the car that we're chasing down. And I just outbraked myself a little bit there, bit of a later apex, not able to get on the power as quick as I would like to be, but the drive is still good. And there we go, we close the gap right up, like I mentioned, into the slow corners. I seem to be a little bit better than the AI skill set. And through we go this time, trying really hard not to mess it up. A lot better this time around with a really nice exit, but this isn't the corner where I want the exit from, it's here. And we can see a car ahead going off. And that's Mayuev crashing out and ultimately probably going all the way to the back of the grid. But that's us up to P10. Target has been achieved, but can we capitalise anymore? Looking to go round the outside into T1. I don't know why we went on board for that. That's such a shame. Let's replay that. Let's replay that. From trackside. So we can see we end up going 3 abreast into T1, and I'm managed to get the move done around the outside, left room on the inside, but ended up also shoving, I'm assuming, Stevenson out of the way. So up to P8 we go. We're now immediately under attack from Stevenson from behind. But luckily we were able to hold him off for a couple of corners, and now Stevenson's under attack from Lovric. Let's see if we can see what's going on there. Lovric gets down the inside there of Stevenson and gets the move done. So we head back to Anders, and we can see actually T2 and T1 are having an absolute right battle. Whoa! Almost lose complete control there. Even P3 is getting in on the action there. Thompson, Richards and Rampanelli all going for the race victory. And there's myself just ahead of a 5-car train, trying to make as much gap as possible. Now, it looks like Car has just been overtaken by Lopez there as we head into the last lap of the race. So let's stick with myself. The audio's gone a little bit funny. There it is. Let's pop back in. Jobs are good in. But for me, my race, I'm just trying to hold on to P8. Whilst the AI are all scrapping for the last bit. Oh, and Thompson's tapping Richards, who's then going into the back of Rampanelli. It's going to go down to the final few corners here. But I reckon Rampanelli has got this one. Yeah, Rampanelli's got this. Nice little battle there. Myself, I've managed to hit my target at P10. And I'll be crossing the line in 8th position. More than happy with that. And I hope this video kind of shows that the Porchse Cup 3.8 litres at least are definitely worth a little look-see and for a little go. If you wish to view more Pretty Ninja content and join any of our live events, you're more than welcome to join our Discord or head towards our website, prettyninjaracing.com. Currently, I believe it might even be down at the moment, purely because we're trying to integrate to a new server, which hopefully won't be too far away now, because we're eager and ready to go for 2025. We do some fun, just non-serious league events. If you want to get involved in AMS2, will be on the website going forwards. And you may, if you fancy joining us for one of our endurance events, you're also more than welcome. And I'll be trying to do a few more videos on YouTube throughout 2025. But yes, as I mentioned earlier, please let me know in the comments of a combination you would like to see me have a go at. I'm not the best driver, so it could be rather hilarious. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one.